ערב שבת קודש, פרשת מטות מסעי, תשפ"ג. דברי תורה that we are going to say today will be לעילוי נשמתה טהורה של מרת לאה בת וירשני, עליה השלום. רוח השם תניחנה בגן עדן, אמן. So this week we will speak about Parashat Massei. In the parasha we have a mitzvah that Am Israel has to fulfill it when they are entering Eretz Canaan. And this is what the Torah says. Hashem spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you cross the Jordan to the land of Canaan, you shall arrange cities for yourselves, city of refugee shall they be for you, and the killer shall flee there. One who take a life unintentionally." And the pasuk, there is another pasuk also. The cities shall be for you a refugee for a redeemer, so that the killer will not die until he stands before the assembly for judgment. Two psukim the Torah wrote here. And we have to understand why the Torah wrote these two psukim. One pasuk, as we mentioned, you shall arrange cities for a refugee, that the killer shall flee there. And the other pasuk says, the cities shall be for you a refugee from a redeemer. There is a question in the yeshivot that I remember we used to ask. What is the purpose of fleeing to a refugee city? Is it a punishment for the person who killed unintentionally? Or it's not a punishment, it's Hatzala. It's a savement, that he will be saved from the Redeemer. We find a machloket among the Mefarshim. What is the purpose of fleeing to a refugee city? The Maharsha says the purpose is to be saved, that the killer will be able to be saved from the Redeemer. The Baal or Sameach, Rabbi Simcha Midvinsk, he holds that the purpose is a kapara. And he brings two proofs for this from the Gemara. I will mention one proof, that the proof is that if let us say that the killer he was judged to go to a refugee city, but he died before he came to the Ir Miklat, to the refugee city. So says the Gemara, you have to bring his body or his bones to the refugee city. Who will kill him then? If it's a place of to be saved, who will kill him? He's dead already. So from here learn the Baal or Sameach that the purpose is as a kapara. I heard once that these two psukim represents the two opinions. The first pasuk speaks and says, "You shall arrange cities for yourselves, cities of refugee shall they be for you, and the killer shall flee there, one who takes life unintentionally." From here, this pasuk comes to teach us that the purpose is a kapara. But the second pasuk that speaks and says, the cities shall be for you a refugee from the Redeemer, so the killer will not be killed. So the killer will not die until he stands before the assembly. This pasuk comes to teach us that the purpose of a refugee city, fleeing to a refugee city, is to be saved. The Torah continues, and the Torah says that we need six cities of refugee Am Israel has to prepare. And the division will be like this. The three cities you should designate on the east side of the Jordan. The other three will be on the west side, what we call today. And here, the Gemara is asking a strong question. This division 3 and 3 is not right, because on the west side lived 9.5 tribes. For them, you designate 3 cities. In the east side, you designated also 3 cities. But in the east side lived only 2.5 tribes. The tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuven, and half of Shevet Menashe. So the ratio is not right. This is the question of the Gemara. Answers the Gemara, the east side needed 3 cities. Why? Because there is one city there, which is called Gilad. In this city, there were a lot of murderers. A lot of people were killed at that place. Therefore, the east side needed a lot of refugee cities. Which the cities are for whom? The cities are for people who killed unintentionally. So how can we say that there is one city, Gilad, that you have there a lot of people who kills unintentionally? Something which is unintentionally, you cannot think about percentage. This is something that happened. So you cannot make a calculation. So therefore, what we are talking about? 2 answers for this. One answer is, says the Maharsha, says the Chizkuni, in the city of Gilad, there were murderers, But in the beginning, all murderers are going to a refugee city. A person who killed unintentionally and a people who killed with intention. All of them are running, fleeing to a refugee city. Then you bring them to court. And if the judge decided that you killed intentionally, you will be killed. The other people that they were judged and the judge decided that they killed unintentionally, so they are going, they remain in the refugee city. The Maharal Prague, he explained it differently. And he said that we must say that when we are talking in Gilad, to have a lot of murderers means a lot of murderers that kills with intention. But if they are killing with intention, what do you need the three cities, three refugee cities? Explains the Maharal. Since in Gilad there were a lot of people, a lot of killers that they killed with intention, it caused in the city an environment of killing. And people smells genes of killing. Therefore, there were a lot of people, good people, not murderers, nice people. But since the environment was killing, they were not careful when it came to deal with life of people. And therefore, because there were a lot of people who killed with intention, there were a lot of people that they killed with unintentionally. Means that when you are among a group of people that they are bad people, automatically it influences the people around. It's like what happened in the time of the generation of the Mabul. People sinned and follow them, the animals. Because of this, Chazal wanted to isolate people who killed. And what Chazal established, that Chazal established that that Am Yisrael, they have to prepare the way to the refugee city. And in every crossroads, they used to put signs with an arrow. This is the way to the refugee city. And all the way, there were signs like this. Why? Besides, to help him to run quick, Chazal wanted to isolate the murderer. Even he killed unintentionally, that he will not be in contact with any people to ask them, where is the way? Because this way he will talk to the people and a lot of people will hear that there are murderers unintentionally, and they might be influenced by these people. The Torah didn't behave like this. The Torah didn't prepare the way to people who used to do Aliyah LeRegel Yerushalayim. To refugee cities, the Torah said, Tachin lecha haderech, prepare for them the way. The Torah didn't write this pasuk to people who are making Aliyah LeRegel Yerushalayim. The Torah didn't want to prepare, says the Chofetz Chaim, the way to them, to write signs on crossroads. What is the way to Yerushalayim? The Torah wanted that when a person is making Aliyah LeRegel, and he has a long way, he will knock on doors of people on the way, and he will ask them, show me the way to Yerushalayim. And when he will meet people on the way, he will ask them, show me the way to Yerushalayim. Why? Because the Torah wanted to publicize this mitzvah, going to Aliyah LeRegel in Yerushalayim. And when you will come, you, with your 5, 6 children, little boys, you are going to Yerushalayim, and you will meet a person, and you will ask him, tell me, where is the way to Yerushalayim? Even though this man didn't think to go to Yerushalayim this year, but then when he will see that this man is coming with his 6 children, he will say to himself, how can it be? He is going with 5 children, and I will stay here in my city. I will go also to Yerushalayim. In this way, the mitzvah of Aliyah LeRegel will be publicized, and a lot of people will join. This was the way of Elkanah in the beginning of Sefer Shmuel, that he used to go every year he used to go to Aliyah LeRegel Yerushalayim. Says Chazal, and it's being brought by Rashi, that every year he used to go through a different way to Yerushalayim. Why? In order that he will meet other people that he didn't meet last year. He will go into other villages that he didn't went last year, in order to publicize the mitzvah of Aliyah LeRegel. This is the difference between a person who did an Avirah and a person who does a mitzvah. And this is a lesson for us also, that a man should be careful to stay in a bad environment, because bad environment has a bad influence. I want to wish everyone a very good Shabbat Shalom, and in Mitzvah Hashem, we will meet next week. Shabbat Shalom.